Hey everyone, we are Davey And Sky, and this week we're going to be exploring two of the best places to step back in time in all of Canada.
That's right, we are here on Cape Breton Island in the province of Nova Scotia, and we're going to be checking out the Parks Canada Fortress of Louisbourg National Historic Site, as well as the Alexander Graham Bell National Historic Site.
Founded in 1713 by the French, the Fortress of Louisbourg is one of the busiest seaports in North America, a military base and center of commerce, making it of great importance to France's overseas empire. Falling under siege twice to the English in 1745 and 1758, the fortress was destroyed, but thankfully in 1961, the Government of Canada began an extensive reconstruction project, resulting in the beautiful piece of living history we see today. Now, this reconstruction is actually 1/4 of the original French town, and it is the largest of its kind in North America. It gives visitors an inside look of what life would have been like here in the 18th century, through costumed animators, exhibits, music, military drills, traditional foods, and more. It's truly a portal into the past.
Wouldn't be spies for the British here, would you?
What do you mean?
I don't know what you mean. You're coming here wearing a red coat expecting to get in here.
Oh. Uh-oh.
Yeah. What business brings you to Louisbourg?
I did not think about what color scheme I was wearing today.
No.
I'm here to learn and sightsee and experience the fortress.
Sightseeing sounds like a spying thing. I don't know.
Oh no, I did not. We are very excited to be back here. I actually grew up coming here as a little girl and have very fond memories, so excited to be back, but also super excited because we're gonna actually be spending the night here on site. Jumping right into it, we're going to be adding an explosive element to our visit here at the Fortress of Louisbourg because I'm going to be training to be a canyoneer. So I get to do the march, go up, and fire a cannon. I don't know if my ears are ready. Oh my gosh.
Turn to the side.
That was so cool.
You did it.
Yeah, you're all dirty now.
That's okay. That was incredible. Like, hard to describe. It was a lot to take in. Safety wise, there was a whole drill that to follow the drums and walk up, and I was a sergeant, and yeah, and then we walked up and I had a place to stand, and then I went up and I was so nervous about my ears the most because of the little earplugs that they gave me. I was so nervous, but then I did it and I didn't even feel it in my ears. I just felt it in my belly, and it felt so powerful and so flippin' cool. That was quite the experience. I highly recommend it if you come to the Fortress of Louisbourg.
A bit delayed. I tried.
As you come through the gates of the Fortress of Louisbourg, you'll probably see and smell some smoke coming from this chimney behind me, and this is the King's Bakery, where daily they make traditional 18th century bread from scratch. And we are going to go inside and get to see some of the bakers making this bread. There are 3 different kinds for the different classes, so there's soldier bread, middle class bread, and upper class bread as well.
The oven is this deep. It's circular.
Oh my goodness,
It
wow.
is 10 feet circular, so it's this wide also. It takes about 3 to 4 hours. Most of the time is heating the oven up. We have 3 different kinds of bread. One big 6-pound loaf, about this big, to last a soldier 4 days. That was 90% of their whole diet.
Fresh bread made this morning. There's some upper class white bread here. Oh, it's stiff. Still warm.
Is it?
Yeah.
Nice.
No, it's really good. It's heavy, dense. I like this type of bread. I used to make this type of bread.
We have just met up with the Basque girls here at the Fortress of Louisbourg, and this is a really cool program because each summer 2 students actually travel from the Basque country. I had no information or knowledge about the Basque country, which is so cool. Yeah. And they come here and they get to teach people the traditions of Basque country and the connections between Basque and Louisbourg. So can you tell me a little bit more about yourselves?
Yeah, the Basque country, you have friends in here, Spain in here. So France in the north, Spain in the south, and it's between the two of them.
Yes.
And we have our own language, our own history, and our own culture. So it's very different. It's not Latin language. It's like nothing to do with the French or with the Spanish or with the German.
Yes,
has no connection.
Uniquely Basque.
Yes. Yeah.
And
we
then
are.
its connection, Basque country, they would have traveled here to Louisbourg for fishing.
Yes, especially for the fishing.
Yes, here in the 18th century, in this year, in the 1744, the 60% of the population, mostly men, came from the Basque country.
60%
of the population
outside of the walls.
they are going to
Okay.
be Basque. Yes, Basque is going to be the language I'm going to speak all the time.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes.
Wonderful. Well, thank you guys so much. So good. Thank you guys.
It was amazing.
This building behind me here is the Mi'kmaq Interpretation Center, and it's where you can learn about the vital role that the Mi'kmaq played in the Fortress of Louisbourg. You can learn about the language, and you can see demonstrations. There's drumming, and we even had a lovely lady being able to sing for us today, which was such a treat. Come on. All right, we're feeling a little parched. It's quite a beautiful day, so we're gonna head into the Storehouse Tavern and sample some rum. So inside the Storehouse Tavern, you can actually do a rum flight. That's right, the Fortress of Louisbourg has their very own rum, and it kind of restores that 300-year-old history of New France rum trade. And they store these select Caribbean rum in barrels that are tucked behind the stone walls of the fortress. So there is I believe this might be the dark rum. There's also an amber rum and a white rum too. And a spiced rum as well. So you can pop into the tavern, you can do a little rum flight and learn the history about the rum here, or you can even try some of the local beers too.
Cheers.
So dining here at the Fortress, there are multiple options. There's a cafe, there's 2 different restaurants, and we're going to be heading into the Hotel de la Marine, and we're going to be experiencing 18th century dining. I've heard though that there are some North America options available too, so like you're not super limited to 18th century food per se. This is the utensil of the evening. Spoons. Apparently we are eating in a lower class restaurant, which means we only have spoons to eat our meal with. No forks, no knives, just spoons, which makes me really want to like kind of anyways, what we got tonight was pain perdu is what Davey got. I think it's basically like French toast, bacon, and it smells divine.
Yeah, that's what it is.
And then I got turkey pie with carrots, which was the meat of the day. And we have some local ciders as well to accompany it, which is just so nice. I mean, just to see the linen and like these are our napkins. This is such a cool experience. If you come to the Fortress, definitely try to tick off enjoying some 18th century cuisine as well. That was actually very satisfying. How are you going to eat that?
We spent the rest of the day exploring the different exhibits and engaging with the costumed animators. I also signed up to shoot a musket.
Here we go.
Fire! Again! There you go.
I get a cannon for Christmas, and you get a musket for Christmas.
Here, I'll hand it to
Visitors also have the unique opportunity to become a prisoner for the day, where they are fed bread and water and subjected to public punishments.
Expliquez-vous! Explain yourself! Who's got any rotten vegetables? Will they choux pour riz? Huh? Pre-chewed what? Gum? Like a tree? You're weird. Your ordeal is over. I suggested in the future you try to avoid breaking the law!
as the day comes to a close here at the Fortress, they have a securing the fortress procedure, which is the final cannon blast of the day, and we got to witness that. But our time here does not end after the gates close because we are actually staying the night. And this is something that visitors can book ahead of time, and we had the option of staying in the prison or the guardhouse. Combination number one that we had the option to book is the guardhouse, so come on in. And now this is a one-bedroom glamping-esque experience. They provide you with some camping mats and a stove and some lanterns, but you're encouraged to bring obviously your own sleeping materials like sleeping bag and pillows and everything. But it's quite comfortable in here. A bed test. Pretty hard, but with some camping mats it would be quite nice, and it's just like such a unique experience as well. But I think that we're actually gonna choose to sleep in the prison. This is where we're gonna sleep for the night. So we are in the prison of the Fortress right now, and you can see behind me here where the prisoners would have been shackled and slept, and this is what we're gonna sleep for the night. Which is like, I don't know, it's just so cool. Hopefully the only time I can ever say that I've slept in a prison before, and it's such a unique experience that you can book with friends and family, and it accommodates up to 6.
Like your feet are shackled.
No, I think they shackle you upside down, right?
Gosh, that'd be so mean. Cause this like bed is slightly on a slant.
This is my pillow, it's just perfect for me.
You look so comfortable.
As if it is comfortable.
Oh, this is actually not bad. For you to like put something soft here.
No, bend and then, yeah.
That's not gonna work.
Oh, it's locked from the inside. We're gonna have to put something heavy on there during the night.
To keep the ghouls out.
Not sure if you can see us. We just had a great evening, had an amazing sunset, had a little fire, had some s'mores.
We were also stargazing for quite a while,
Yeah,
and we have
stars
the
are
whole
amazing
fortress
right now.
basically to ourselves, so yeah. Now this is where we're sleeping for the night. In the prison. Pretty cool. Good night.
Good night.
Good night. Good night. Ooh. We are leaving the fortress behind us now. Quite literally, it's behind us because we are on the Old Town Trail, and we wanted to showcase that there are some great walking, hiking trails around the Fortress of Louisbourg too. So this is the Old Town Trail, great view. There's the Royal Battery as well as the Lighthouse Trail where the lighthouse is as well. From Louisbourg to Basque, we have now traveled from the 18th century to the 19th century as we are at the Alexander Graham Bell National Historic Site. And it's here that you can go inside this museum and get some insight into the curious mind of one of the world's greatest inventors. Best known as the inventor of the telephone, Bell also produced important inventions and discoveries in medicine, deaf communication, aeronautics, marine engineering, genetics, and electrical science. He was a teacher, scientist, and inventor. This museum truly is beautiful. It's another site that I actually grew up coming to as a kid, and it's been lovely to see the museum grow and have more exhibits along the way. The location cannot be beat. It sits right along the Basque Bay, so if you're planning a trip to Cape Breton Island, please add this historical site to your list because the Basque area is gorgeous, and this is just to visit as well. And I should say, Alexander Graham Bell fell in love with the Basque area, making his family estate Benbria here too. So this museum and its location is of great, beautiful importance. Let's head inside. We have a couple of special tours planned for today. These are gonna be my accessories as we are partaking in a white glove tour. And this is something that's created by Parks Canada to protect and preserve some original artifacts. And we can't get our actual skin on these artifacts, so we put these white gloves on and we get a behind the scenes look. And we have a park staff here, Chloe, who's going to show us some of these artifacts on the white glove tour.
So he was 3 generations of Alexander Bells. So on the right here is his grandfather, who was Alexander Bell, and his father was Alexander Melville Bell. And when Alexander was born, he actually wasn't given a middle name. But on his 11th birthday, his father gave him a unique birthday present of actually letting him choose his own middle name. But when it was given to him, it was from a friend of theirs, Alexander Graham, and he liked that name, so he picked that name for himself. So that's how he became Alexander Graham Bell.
Wow, that's so great. Can you imagine getting to pick your own name?
I know.
That's actually like a very cool thing.
Yes.
An adult choice too, with Graham.
What an adult choice
Yes.
for an 11-year-old boy. You can tell his astuteness at an early age.
Mabel was another one of his students, actually. She had become deaf at the age of 5 due to a severe case of scarlet fever. Her parents approved of their future marriage, but her father, as he was a wealthy patent lawyer at this time, he was concerned that they wouldn't be able to provide the life that she had been accustomed to. So that's when Alexander started working on the telephone, and her father actually financed the telephone idea, saying that once the telephone was finished, him and Mabel could get married. So with that success, this is Alexander's writing on the back of it, which says the girl for whom the telephone was invented.
Oh, wow. That's so cool. Oh, that just like gave me goosebumps.
This right here is a disc from the graphophone that Alexander Graham Bell was working on, one of the first recording devices.
The White Glove Tour was an incredible learning experience, offering us an up-close look at the rare artifacts and insights we wouldn't have gotten otherwise. Afterward, we spent the rest of the afternoon exploring the museum, where we were amazed by the sheer number of inventions Alexander Graham Bell had created. It was fascinating to learn that Bell's career began as a teacher for the deaf and hearing impaired, and his curiosity led to groundbreaking achievements like Canada's first powered flight, the world's fastest watercraft, advanced recording technology, and of course the telephone.
This is a museum for all ages, so as fascinating as it is to adults, of course, there's also activities for kids too. So there's an Explorers, Parks Canada Explorers Guide, and then they have a little seek and find where you can go through the museum and try to find these items, which makes it fun for kids and fun for, I'm like, David, do you want to do this? This looks really fun.
Kind of.
Alexander was also very interested in the natural science and animals and x-rays, so there's a little thing here that you can see. This is a kangaroo, and this is what the x-ray would look like. Mabel and Alexander would write letters frequently to each other, even love letters too. So they have a little letter exhibit here at the museum, and they have a typewriter out so that you, as a visitor, can write your own letters and mail them at the gift shop as well. So we're gonna write a little letter to David's mom, and we're gonna send it to her because it was recently her birthday.
Hi, Brenda. And slash mom.
Dear.
Yay.
I got to type my first ever typewriter letter, and we're gonna go mail it to David's mom. We are now here with Melissa, and we have booked the Ahead by a Century tour, which is something that visitors can do. So, of course, you can come to the museum and explore at your own leisure, but you can also book a tour and get more of an inside look at everything. And we're going to be learning about some of the lesser known.
That's right.
Okay.
Everybody knows about the telephone.
Everybody knows, of course.
We want to talk about everything else that he did.
Because he did so much.
Yeah, exactly. So we're going to go ahead and look at all that stuff, and hopefully you can learn something on the way.
Wonderful.
Let's go. So this one is the vacuum jacket, which is an artificial respirator. So when Alexander Graham Bell's 2 sons were born, they were born prematurely. And they passed away within a few hours because they didn't have the lung capacity. So he made this as a way to help somebody breathe when they're not. Now this actually went on to become something else because he never put a patent on it so that anybody who needed it could get it. Iron lung used during the polio epidemics.
Okay.
So it saved thousands of lives.
But it was his original invention?
But it was his original invention.
So like he's still marked as the first person to technically invent it.
That's right.
But then did somebody else take credit for the iron lung?
Not to my knowledge. I think it was something that was never credited so that everybody could access it, the technology, and not worry about laws. He invented air conditioning.
That's amazing.
He hated how hot it was in Washington, D.C., where his house was for the summer. So he took the water out of the swimming pool, which was in the basement of his house, set up his office down there, and in the room above it he had a stove that he filled with ice. And these blowers would blow the cold air from the ice stove down into his office, which was tight enough that water wouldn't escape, so therefore air wouldn't escape either. And so he was nice and comfortable while everyone else in the city was Well, hot and sticky.
So intelligent. Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
Here at the museum, there's also a area of Mabel's Gardens. And I'm here with Anna, who is one of the gardeners and interpreters here for the garden. Can you tell us a little bit about what is in these gardens and what makes them so special?
Yeah, so at Van Vrea, Mabel had a massive garden and she was very interested in helping her community with her garden. She would grow different plants from all around the world and then donate both the fruit and the plants themselves to people all around the community.
So this is what you do now. So you were saying that you're harvesting beans.
Yeah.
And you donate them to the local food bank.
So everything that you see here was once grown in Mabel's gardens. And we do the same. We take what we harvest and donate it. These are all plants that were once grown in Mabel's own personal garden. And they're here kind of to give a glimpse into the kinds of plants that she liked.
Oh, so kind of her favorite colors too, probably. Yes. Like purples and pinks and the vibrant yellows as well.
Colors had a big meaning for Mabel because she couldn't hear anything. So she relied a lot on sight. And these gardens are also here to teach people about pollination. Everything here is an object lesson in pollination. Things like the phlox and the blazing star are very good for pollination. Plants like the peony over there in the cage are not so great for pollination. So that's an example we can point to of these are common garden flowers that you may or may not want to have in your own garden.
So you kind of planted him over there in purpose of being like, that's not a pollination.
Yes.
Cool, very good.
Oh, you got it. Oh, you almost got it.
Oh. So they also have kites that you can borrow here. As Alexander Graham Bell did invent, I believe it was the tetrahedral kite. So yeah, they encourage you to learn about kites and to learn about how to fly kites, and they have some that you can borrow for all ages. There's a little girl down there flying a kite, so I was
jealous.
A little jealous. Yes, they look like they're having a lot of fun. Except mine is not going up how I would like.
And that's the end of this video. Thanks for watching.
Hopefully we have inspired you to please add the Fortress of Louisbourg National Historic Site and the Alexander Graham Bell National Historic Site to your must-travel list. They are an absolute treasure on Cape Breton Island, on all of Nova Scotia, and in Canada as well. Perfect spots to travel back in time and learn important information about Canada's history. And also, hopefully we've inspired you that this is a great 2-day itinerary. You can go to the Fortress, stay overnight, and then pop over to the Alexander Graham Bell Museum too. So yeah, we had a blast.
We did.
We did. Something for all ages as well. Like, that's something I've really enjoyed these last 2 days, is to see kids and to see all generations truly enjoying themselves and learning as well. So
thanks for watching.
Thanks for watching. Bye.
Hey, bro.